And blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO. And you think to yourself, well, this is the slowest time of year, people taking time off, people having a good time. And yes, I think eventually we will take some time off to go to the, get a sabbatical and do our own thing. But we're happy to be with you on this rainy, wet Monday morning here in the Treasure Valley. Remember, you can always get us on the KIDO Talk Radio app, available at Google Play and the App Store. So think to yourself, it's slow. It's never a slow time with Donald Trump. By the way, our great friend, the young Jacob, is with us, filling in for Ray Amaya today and tomorrow and Friday. He's very excited to be here. So I want to make sure that you give him a nice Kevin Miller Show welcome that he has grown accustomed to in his years of service to the broadcast center. So Jacob in for Ray Amaya, and we're going to have a great program today. In fact, I don't know what you did yesterday, but I spent the whole day talking back to the television and cheering on Rudy Giuliani. And if you missed it because you have a life, if you missed it because you moved to Idaho to go out and have a good time, well, we're going to share that with you coming up. We'll also talk about this incredible decision. And look, I'm going to let you decide on this one. Well, I let you decide on every one of them because you run the asylum here. The decision to strike down Obamacare at 580-5436, 580-KIDO that happened over the weekend. You're going to hear from the president and hear what he had to say. It's just as he had predicted. And even though you have a lot of people saying it's the end of the line for Donald Trump, you have a Texas judge saying Obamacare is unconstitutional.
Incredible. Two incredible people. And we have so much more to do. And again, this is going to be an exciting week, but I think it's going to be a really exciting year and exciting 2 years. I believe we're going to get really good health care. Exciting things happened over the last 24 hours. And if everybody's smart, because we have a lot of Democrats here tonight, and I'm very happy about that, people don't realize it. I have a lot of friends who are Democrats. And we have Democrats here. And if the Republicans and the Democrats get together, we are going to end up with incredible health care, which is the way it should have been from day one. And it's going to happen. It now has a chance to happen. And the other thing they're going to start working on very shortly is an infrastructure bill, because that's something I think everybody wants to see. So we'll start working on that. So, look, enjoy yourself, travel around, look at every molding of this house. It's just an incredible place to be. And again, thank you all. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Have a great new year. We're going to have an incredible new year for our country, most importantly. And to our First Lady, thank you very much on a job well done. Thank you.
Welcome to the White House. Enjoy the evening. Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year.
Now, I see my friend Jacob just shouting up for joy at this when he hears President Trump talking about the end of Obamacare and such. But let's get real for a moment, shall we? Here we have in our lovely Treasure Valley, we're getting ready to go to work. Maybe you've already worked. Maybe you're like our friend Steve. You've been working at the congressional facility. You're on your way home. Maybe you're like the lady I saw at Shopko going, hey, today's my Friday. Well, today's our Monday, ma'am. Maybe you're getting ready to travel. Maybe you've got some time off, what have you. Maybe you can't sleep. Okay, we've covered the maybes. But where is the faith in government? The Republicans, with all due respect, had absolute power for 2 years. Because they wanted to pander to maybe a special interest group. Maybe they didn't agree with the president. They didn't build the wall. They came within one vote short of eliminating Obamacare. They didn't have an infrastructure bill. And as I've said before, how in the world can you think that people are going to work together when you have one side saying one side's a bunch of buffoons and the other side saying we're going to investigate the commander-in-chief because we don't like him? Well, absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? So do you believe that anything is going to be done? At 580-5436, 580-KIDO. And let's get to the end of Obamacare. Okay? People are saying this is great. And if you're a Republican, you're saying this is wonderful. But whether you're a conservative or a liberal or whatever, everybody everybody is touched by healthcare, right? Everybody has an issue. When you go into one of our great hospitals that continue to build these elaborate monuments to being nonprofits, the first thing they don't say to you is, how are you feeling? What can we do for you? It's, where's your insurance? It's, where's your credit cards? Right? It often stung me when I'm sitting there, and because of my inactivity, rivaling that of George Costanza, that one night I spent a night in the emergency room. And I'm sitting there, and I've got these pains because my muscles weren't working or what have you. And they've got me hauled in on a super extra heavy-duty girder. And the first thing they say is, what's your copay? Who's your insurance? Well, that'll be $100. Before they haul me into the back of the meat factory there. And then the strangest thing happened. You wait and you wait and you wait. And then they take some blood. And then they forgot they didn't take the right type of thing. They messed up on the blood test. So you're there for 3 or 4 hours. And, you know, it's kind of like being at a, well, sorry, Mike Miniger, at a body shop. Well, maybe not a body shop, but at a lawyer's office or in a taxi cab. The meter's always running, right? And even then, the service isn't good because you're just sitting around. Well, we're busy. Okay. It's kind of like when you're paying for something, you're not getting it. This is my experience with healthcare. And then they haul you into this, they wheel you into this thing because they just want to check your insides, and that's fine. Oh, that'll be $3,000. But we'll make sure that you're okay. Sure. It's kind of like when you go to the dentist and they say, hey, would you like your teeth whitened? And they upsell you. I'm always accusing people of upselling me because life is sales, right? So you come back, and then thank goodness that there was a listener to this program who said, yeah, Kevin, they messed up your blood. We're going to have to draw it again. And he did it the right way. Now, finding a vein in me is pretty challenging anyway, but that's why they have medical professionals. I am not embellishing here, 13 pokes at one of those doctor shops, and they couldn't find the needle. The needle couldn't find a vein. So you have to go to phlebotomist. You know, that's extra money. However, my point being is we can talk about Obamacare ruined us. We can talk about, and rightfully so, but let's get to a real solution. The president now has advocated to blow up the healthcare system and start all over again. Let's say Obamacare, and I don't believe that it will be ruled unconstitutional because John Roberts doesn't want to be embarrassed because he let it go in 2012. Let's say you blow it up. It's just going to make it worse. So I don't understand why we're electing people that it's just going to make it worse. Sorry, Obamacare, your rates went up 30%. With the new system, it's going up 60%. Have a nice day. Does that make sense to you? At 580-5436, 580-KIDO. It doesn't make sense to me. And nothing is more crucial. Nothing should be nonpartisan than figuring out a solution to 1/5 of our economy? And kids, as I've said, learn Spanish, go to law school. Immigration is still a vibrant business to get into, being an immigration attorney, or go into healthcare. When they're not cutting jobs, it's a pretty stable field. Look at all the medical facilities we're building around here. We have churches, dentists, gyms, and hospitals. So my point is, yeah, let's blow up Obamacare. How in the world can we justify making it worse? You know, when you go to a nice restaurant, let's say you go to young Jacob's favorite place, Whole Foods. Whole Foods, you go there and you have an expectation. And you have great service, you have great items, you have great things. If a place like Whole Foods or Amazon or Albertsons, they don't deliver, you don't go back to them. Why isn't it the same way for our medical expectations? So that's one topic that I want to get to at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You know, again, people are saying it's the end of Obamacare. Great. Well, what's going to replace it? Something worse?
The individual mandate is the linchpin, so it covers the entire aspect of the Affordable Care Act. So if you remove that tax, then the individual mandate fails, and Congress itself said that the individual mandate was what made Obamacare work in the first place.
Right. So no individual mandate. This is the Attorney General of Indiana going on and on about this.
Well, right now, nothing is happening in that sense. The case is going to be appealed. It may take months, years to get to the Supreme Court. In the interim, it provides Congress with a real opportunity, recognizing that Obamacare is on life support, to pull together and make a determination of the things that we need to do to provide sufficient health care for all Americans, including pre-existing conditions, because Americans have determined that that's something they want to consider. So put all those things on the table and resolve this, but within a constitutional framework.
There we have it. That sounds good, doesn't it? Let's go to Jim in Middleton with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Kevin. I'll make a comment on the subject matter there, but I wanted to mention Saturday I took a short little trip, and I was listening to 580, the Dave Tetzel show, and you were on there, and you were talking about a little bit of your life history and so forth and what have you. And I thoroughly enjoyed that, Kevin. I wanted to let you know. And, I said before, and I'm not pandering to you, you're a man of integrity and decent fella. You have a lot of charisma. That's why a lot of folks like you. You're the real deal. But that was a nice story about some of your struggles and some of your past, so I enjoyed that.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that.
And in regards to health care, Kevin, very, very easy fix for this. Now, whether it gets done or not, or whether it hadn't even been suggested, but what you do is simply this. Get rid of the government in the healthcare system, totally. And you get rid of the insurance companies. And then you deal directly with the hospital of your choice. Now, a hospital system will probably have to hire a few insurance people for their administrative work, get people enrolled, and monthly fees going in. But you've eliminated two huge bureaucracies, which do absolutely nothing but suck money up. So this would reduce healthcare probably by 50% or more. Okay, and then make it totally free enterprise, because a free enterprise system cannot survive without doing a good job. Somebody gets burned here or there, the word's out, these people are gone. So now you have a monthly fee going into this hospital administrative office. You pick the insurance that you want. If you want maternity, if you want this, that, sex change, or whatever the case may be. It's an individual choice. And in the event, Kevin, you get hurt, let's say you're visiting Washington, D.C., and you get hurt there. Then what you do is you just simply let them know who your health provider is in your state, your hometown, what have you, and then payment gets directed from there. You'll have to tweak that a little bit here and there, but there's absolutely no reason for us to have insurance companies and the government involved in this if it's done correctly. When we go grocery shopping, we don't have a broker or an insurance company, to help us buy what groceries we want. We just make our own decisions. But anyway, that's my thought on that, and you eliminate those two huge, wasteful bureaucracies, and the free market system will the competition will keep it on the cutting edge, and we'll get the best service that we've ever had with any other type of healthcare system. So what do you think about that?
I like the idea. I mean, the insurance companies, just like everybody else, they're making the big money.
Exactly. And that money doesn't benefit us. The bureaucracy in the government doesn't benefit us. When we go buy a new car, Kevin, you advertise for car companies and what have you. And so we have our choice where to go. We can buy a car that you suggest or something we've done our own research on, what have you. And again, if a car company burns somebody, the service is bad, you know how quickly the word gets out, and these people will be out of business. So in a government-run healthcare system, if the healthcare is bad or we get in poor service, do we have a choice to go somewhere else? No, we're stuck with it. So the free market system is the best system that's ever been produced, in my personal opinion. Not the end-all, but it's the best we've ever seen anywhere in terms of cutting-edge technology and iPhones, computers, vehicles, and so forth.
Jim, we appreciate it. By the way, our Christmas party is Thursday.
You know, I know Randy mentioned that. I thought it was the following Thursday because I'm off for 2 weeks, but I'll be thinking of you guys, and that's an early release day for the kids. So I'll be, I won't be clocking out until, the party's completely over. But that's all right. I'll think about you guys, and I'll call.
Well, thank you, Jim. And by the way, you still love driving that bus, huh?
Well, I drive out of here at your hometown, Star, right down the road from Middleton, and I drive for the North Star Charter School. And, it's a different breed of kids than the general public school. I wish the rest of the school system would follow suits like this. But, yeah, it's kind of nice, Kevin. I work 160 days a year. And anyway, it gets me up in the morning and doing something. When my wife retires in a year or so, we might take a few years off and go travel, and then we're going to go back and do some part-time work again, and maybe do some, when Christine's out of college, do some community work in our area and things like that. So getting up every day, I retired twice. Getting up every day and getting out, Kevin, it's very, very important, at least to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're already retired and you're back to work.
Well, I was working, I was self-employed for years in Northern California. We had a business that was open 7 days a week, 2 shifts a day. We never closed. And nobody wanted to be me when we were working them hours, but it was fun. It was great to build a business. We moved here. I took a year off. I went back in the business world for 8 years and then took about 6 months off. But this is a retirement job, Kevin. This is not a high-stress, get up and go every day. You have to be alert and watch what you're doing out there and be safe. But, it's good and I still have all the time to do all those fun things. I never get sick of work, and I never get sick of playing, Kevin.
Well, Jim, God bless, and thank you for listening. You have a great day, sir.
You too, Kevin. Take care, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. By the way, our great friend Jim from Middleton. Two Fly Bride joins us now on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning.
Hey, looks like we're going to have some breakfast casserole on Thursday then.
Yeah, are you cooking?
Yep, I'm cooking. Big, giant 13-inch pan of it.
Well, that'll be
spicy side.
That'll be very welcome for us here.
It shall be. Do you know, is the Tea Party Bob going to be there?
I don't know. We're just sending out the public invitations right now here for the RSVPs. You're the first one that is publicly RSVP'd. Jim said he couldn't make it, but we wanted to make sure that we celebrate Christmas with all our friends and family, so we'll be doing it Thursday here at the Broadcast Center once again.
Sounds like a great plan. My daughter would also love to come.
She's always welcome.
All right. Well, we'll see you then.
Well, thank you. And again, as we do every year when we have these, you and Tea Party Bob will lead us in Christmas carols on our way out.
That would be great. I love doing that.
Well, thank you, Two Fly Bry. You have a great day. We look forward to you and your casserole coming.
You're welcome. See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye. By the way, if you're new to the program, every year we do a Christmas party where we celebrate just another season of conservatism. And basically, you have to either call me or RSVP on email, kevin@KIDOTalkRadio.com. Very informal, but we just want to make sure that we know we have as many people accurately as possible. If not, the folks at the Broadcast Center get a little upset. So we'll have more details. I guess we'll put it up on the blog there on KIDOTalkRadio.com. Coming up next, Donald Trump reacts to an SNL skit, plus Rudy Giuliani Uncensored. We've got a lot going on, and if you didn't get in on our healthcare call, we would love to get your thoughts on healthcare and whether or not you believe blowing up Obamacare is a good thing, or will it make it worse? Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. And we continue on. Let's go to George in Nampa with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, George.
Morning, Kevin. Hey, I'm going to take you on a little different tangent here. I don't know if you're aware that Boston Red Sox were $40 million over their salary cap.
No.
Yeah, well, then the way the baseball commissioner punished them was he took 10 of the people farther down the draft or teams and moved them up. I was thinking, this sounds like something to go on high schooler while you're in the line for some event. Sure, those 10 are saying, oh, good, we got to move one up. But what about that other 20?
Right.
Yeah, I just don't even know why I can't even follow basic high school understanding that you're trying to jump the line, you're trying to do something, you're going to punish for it.
And here we reward them for it.
It's crazy. Anyway, I just want to point that out to you. Baseball commissioner doesn't even have his hands half straight to think that, we'll let these other 10 give something back to them for Boston's misuse, but these other 20 others doesn't matter.
Good point.
All right, that's all I have to say.
All right, George, thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Let's go to Matt in Boise with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I just wanted to comment on the insurance thing. I don't know. I apologize. I don't know how long you've been in the Valley, but we used to have a place called Doc in the Box. And it was actually it was a nice area to get, minor, like if you cut yourself or you're going in for a cold or sickness and everything like that. And it was so cheap and inexpensive to go there and get service that everybody didn't have a problem paying for it. And it wasn't subsidized by the government, which is nice. So, like a regular, let's say you cut your forehead and stuff, you're not out $300-400 to see a doctor. It might be a couple $100 or under $100. You never know. I remember going there as a kid. I sliced my finger open with a pair of scissors at grade school. We went straight to the Doc in the Box because it was way cheaper to go there than it was to the hospital. But in the same sense for the health insurance, the problem stems from these frivolous lawsuits. Did you know that when you have a practice and stuff like that, and someone says, I'm going to sue you for this because I didn't like the way you did service on me, do you know they have to completely stop their medical practice and wait until the lawsuit is over?
Oh, yeah, I know the insurance companies make a lot of money, or not the insurance companies, the medical or the legal profession. On the other hand, in Idaho, that is capped. A lot of people are bummed out that the malpractice and everything out is capped. I have a friend of mine who is a multimillionaire because he sues doctors and everything of that nature, yeah.
And in the same sense, that wonderful place down in California that's harboring a lot of those lawyers love to go and come up with the most frivolous thing of like, hey, yeah, we know this medicine fails, but we're gonna sue you anyway. And then he kind of comes up to the sense, well, why would you create that medicine in the first place if you know it's going to fail?
Right.
That I can understand, but the hardest part for me is the fact that these insurance companies bank on you having to pay every month for mandated health insurance, and they can raise their rates to whatever rates they want, treat you however they want, and make you see whatever specialist they want just because they know you're footing the bill.
Well, and my favorite with the gutless insurance companies is all of a sudden they go, no, we don't care what your doctor says. We're going to put you on the cheap drug. Well, the cheap drug has side effects and it's going to not work. No, we know best. Oh, I'm sorry. Even before your doctor appealed it, we're not going to listen to your doctor. We're going to do it anyway because we're saving money. You're thinking to yourself, well, wait a minute. I pay good money. I very rarely go to the doctor. I should be able to get the medicine that my doctor wants me to get. And like I said, the scary part about this, Matt, is if they blow it up, they might make it even worse.
Very true. But in the same sense, if we could put stiffer regulations on the insurance companies to what they can actually charge an individual, I think that'd be a good stepping point.
Matt, I appreciate your insight, and thank you for the history lesson.
Thank you.
Thank you. More coming up. And blessed to be with you. Don't forget the Kevin Miller Christmas party will be coming up this Thursday. We already have Terry from State College, Pennsylvania, to Fly Bry, saying they're going to be here. All you have to do is give us an email or a call to RSVP. My email, kevin@kidiotalkradio.com. What an incredible event over the weekend. As we said, we were previewing it at the Boise Rescue Mission. We were at the Cathedral of the Rockies on Friday. It was an outstanding time, feeding a bunch of folks there. I saw Mayor Dave Beater. First time I've seen the mayor in quite some time, serving the food along with Chief Bones of the Boise Police Department. Always good to see our community leaders engaged in a nonpartisan sort of way. And then Saturday, we were at the NNU Church along with David Ferdinand, Reverend Bill, so many people serving. Mayor Kling of Nampa was there, Tea Party Bob, Mike Miniger's Auto Body. It was a good time, and so nice to see so many people getting fed and getting toys, and that all comes from your great work. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. What we are talking about is, well, healthcare. That's the first moment of an issue that we're talking about, whether or not you believe that Congress can get it right this time, because it really is Congress's job to do it, although they failed miserably. Now we also have another issue, and this was a Saturday Night Live skit that President Trump has said, quite frankly, has gone too far and has threatened possibly to take these guys to court. And basically what it was called was taken off of It's a Wonderful Life, right? It's a Wonderful Life. And in it, you would examine, a world without Donald Trump. And Donald Trump wasn't too happy about this. In fact, he's had a lot of public comments on it. So we will take a look and a listen to that coming up as well. But let's call this up. And by the way, we'll always take your calls on this at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. So Saturday Night Live offered its take on a nation without President Trump in a parody of the classic Christmas film It's a Wonderful Life, asking what if Donald Trump were never the president of the United States? Alec Baldwin plays President Trump, and Kenan Thompson plays an angel named Clarence.
Seems to be the trouble, Donald.
Who are you? Stay back.
Relax. I mean you no harm. My name is Clarence, and I was sent here from heaven. I heard you were in trouble.
It's awful. Everything's falling apart. Sometimes I wish I had never been president.
A world where you were never president, eh? I think we can arrange that.
And so it goes on. And like I said, Alec Baldwin has a good time.
I want to be president again. I want to be president again.
Listen, Donald. Every time a bell rings, someone you know quits or goes to jail.
So I am president again. It's a Christmas miracle.
And there we have it. Again, the president not very happy with this. Saturday Night Live doing what they do, I suppose, well, playing the hits and getting people talking about it. I can remember when Saturday Night Live was not political and basically, did their own thing when it comes to making people laugh. Maybe politics has gone mainstream, and there you have it. So, with the very latest, here's Tom Graham.
Saturday Night Live's latest jab at President Trump coming in the form of a Christmas movie parody.
Sometimes I wish I had never been president.
Using the theme from It's a Wonderful Life.
A world where you were never president, eh? I think we can arrange that.
The sketch then goes on to imagine a better America. President Trump taking to Twitter in response, saying in part, a real scandal is the one-sided coverage, hour by hour, of networks like NBC and Democrat spin machines like Saturday Night Live. The president asking if it's legal to be that one-sided, saying it should be tested in court. Tom Graham, Fox News.
And there we have it. Your thoughts at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Now, in the real news of the world, you had Rudy Giuliani making a run at all this Cohen propaganda. And people are saying, well, Cohen flipped. It's the end of the line for the president. But can you trust Michael Cohen? And really, that's what Rudy Giuliani said with George Stephanopoulos back and forth concerning what a crime is and what isn't a crime. I don't know what a crime is. I'm not a lawyer. And maybe we can have a lawyer call in and let us know. But isn't it based on legal interpretation? See, it depends on what side you're on. So here's Rudy Giuliani from George Stephanopoulos. Let's take a listen.
President Trump's current attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Mayor, thanks for joining us this morning. You just saw Michael Cohen right there. He says the president directed him to arrange the payments. The president knew it was wrong, and he was trying to help his campaign. Your response?
Pathetic. The man is pathetic. That's a lawyer you were interviewing. And he says he directed me to do it. And oh, my goodness, he directed me. He's a lawyer. He's the guy you depend on to determine whether or not you should do it this way or that way. Whether you're Donald Trump or you're me or you, I have lawyers.
But he's saying the president knew it was wrong and directed him to do it anyway.
Well, the president says that's false. And he said it was false. Under oath, he said it was false in his tape-recorded conversation with Chris Cuomo. He said it was false on 5 other tape-recorded conversations. He said on those tape-recorded conversations that he did it on his own to start, and then he brought it to the president. And then the president reimbursed it. Clear as a bell, under oath, must have said it 10 times. Okay, now he says the opposite. You're going to tell me which is the truth? I think I know what the truth is, but unless you're God, this man, you will never know what the truth is.
Unless you're God, you're not going to know what the truth is. Right? I mean, really, on one hand, we say, well, look, Michael Cohen is telling the truth now. Well, when was he telling the truth? Before, when he was protecting the president, or now when he's trying to protect himself? And Giuliani has a great point. Stephanopoulos really couldn't go anywhere with this, and we'll share more of it coming up. But, you know, it depends on your legal interpretation. And when are we just going to stop this endless dragnet to get the president? Let's get back to real news, real issues, and real talk, which is what we do here on 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. The real issue here, healthcare. The real issue here, infrastructure. The real issue here, the Chinese. And, of course, your calls, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. And we continue on. Thank you for joining us. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Let's go to Rick in Napa with Kevin Miller. Good morning, Rick.
Yes, good morning, Kevin. And my question concerning health care is what does health care have to do with the Congress anyway? I mean, where in the Constitution, if we're going back to a constitutional principle, where does the Constitution authorize the Congress to have anything to say about health care?
Well, you could say, where does, we could go about weddings and those sorts of things in marriages as well, I suppose.
Well, didn't the founding fathers limit, they were very concerned about limiting government to just very certain aspects, mainly protection for our country. And other aspects of how we live our lives were left free and open to be decided by the states or the local communities. So if this is really going back to a constitutional principle, that's my question.
Well, do we really have a constitutional principle here?
That's my question.
I think we already know the answer to that.
Well, yeah, and I think Jim had some good ideas. I think, wasn't it Jim that was talking about?
Jim in Middleton, yep.
Going back to the free market principle. So anyway, that's my question. And also,
well, I don't think I'd like your answer. I think I already know what the answer is going to be.
Okay. Well, anyway, thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Rick. Take care.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Now.
Now, to answer Rick's question, no, we're not in a constitutional republic right now. I mean, we see the overexpansion of government. We see government being involved in every part of our lives that it was never intended to be, right? At 580-5436, 580-KIDO. That's really where we are, right? That's the answer, unfortunately. Now, can we get it back? You have Tom Munns, who calls in a lot, says, well, I'm trying, Kevin Miller. I'm doing the best I can. But in reality, if you went and had a town hall meeting it would probably have to take place on Facebook because people don't like to go out unless it's for entertainment purposes. Maybe you could sell them that it was the newest Minions movie or something, and then all of a sudden start talking about the Constitution. But you go back to the presidency itself, it was supposed to be very limited. And for many, many years, it was limited until Franklin Delano Roosevelt, declared himself king and decided that he was going to serve for as many terms as he could, dying in office. And the expansion powers of the executive have never stopped. But you go back to the Constitution, you go back to the Federalist Papers, you go back to a lot of things, and the presidency would be unrecognizable to the Founding Fathers. They would liken it to a dictatorship. And once again, I do want to thank all the schools that allowed us to visit their location, and big ups to Valley View and Bishop Kelly for, finishing up a strong Promote Our School, Secure Our Future schedule season, thanks to CapEd Credit Union and Team Mazda Subaru. Coming up, more of Rudy Giuliani playing the hits. Well, looks like the computer here is on vacation. We'll get back to that coming up at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. But as Giuliani said, and you'll hear coming up next hour right after Fox News, look, the president didn't do anything wrong. Michael Cohen at 1 minute is for the president before he's against the president. Who can you believe? And if this is all the Southern District of New York has, if this is all that Robert Mueller has, it's a much to do about nothing. A nothing burger, number one. And number two, we'll continue our conversation concerning health care when we're looking at what's next for your premiums that you pay. Look, we just had this big Democratic wave come in. Now, are they going to make health care better? How can you make health care better if you're spending all your time going after the president with all these investigations? I mean, is that really serving the will of the people? And remember, many of these Democrats, many of the devious little libs, remember, say it with me now, devious little libs, the DLL, they were elected because they promised there would be no more Nancy Pelosi, right? Well, unfortunately, we have Nancy Pelosi back as Speaker of the House already. By the way, do we have any bumper music here on the way out? Okay, well, we're going to the legal ID, so I will just take it to 48 to 50. All right, there we go. Good morning.